Welcome, everybody. Mike Vaccaro here on a special occasion as we get set for Harry's game, the 11th annual Harry's game coming up on Saturday, April 5th at 6 o'clock at the soccer stadium on UNCW's campus. We've got the two coaches taking part in this year's event. Obviously, Aiden Heaney, the men's soccer coach, 24th season here at UNCW, and Zach Haynes, former UNCW assistant coach, now in his sixth year already as a head coach at High Point. And welcome, guys, as we get set to talk about Harry's game a little bit.
Great to see you, Mike. Great to see you too, Zach.
Thanks, guys. Great to be here.
Yeah, Zach, you've been at High Point now since 2019, but 6 years here as an assistant coach at UNCW. But Aiden, let's start with you. Harry's game, obviously, this is something personal to you, to this program as well, and it's named after your son, Harry. Tell us a little bit about him and how this game and the origins of it started.
Yeah, so Harry's 12 now, Mike. Going to be 13 actually coming up, and we when we were going through the pregnancy phase, we learned that we were going to have a son, and that he was going to be had trisomy 21. So we knew kind of, that our son was going to be a little bit different from your typical child, but really got the idea from the head coach at Xavier. And he ran a game with in his daughter, that they set up as a charitable game. So called him and Andy Fleming and said, hey, would you be okay with us kind of copying the idea you had? And he was like, yeah, it'd be great. So the idea, it wasn't born from the idea of it celebrating my son, and we called it Harry's game, but really it's a celebration of kids in our community who have intellectual or physical disabilities. Rather than highlighting my kid, it's really Harry is everybody that and his friends, and that we come into contact with some of the challenges those kids have. So it really is a labor of love. We love doing it. Our players and participate in this. It's become a special date on the calendar for us.
Do you hear often from other parents, people in your situation with, not just kids with Down syndrome, but other special needs and the feedback that you get from them from an event like this?
Yes, I mean we've been running for in the springtime. We've been doing special needs clinics on the weekends before Harry's game. We had our first one last Sunday. So we have 25, 30 kids come out, and their parents are all there watching and watching our kids interact with their children. So they see the connection, and then when they come out for Harry's game and they get to work with, it'll be Zach's High Point players and our players. But really, there'll be typical kids there as well, and that for me is the kind of culmination of where you've got typical kids and non-typical kids, for want of a better word, them playing together, having a good time, and taking away the kind of any kind of difference between them. It's really a cool thing to see, and that's the idea really behind it is. They're like any other child, that they have the same aspirations. They want to be loved and have a good time and be accepted, and you see that, and it really is a special thing.
Zach, again, you were here as an assistant coach when this game started up. So I would think coming back now as the opposition, second time you're doing that as a head coach at High Point, it has a little bit more special meaning to you. What's it like being involved with this event?
It's one of the best days of the year as far as what we do as a program and what we're able to do as a program, opportunities that we have. And I always remember I guess it was the first five that I was involved in as part of the UNCW staff. And it was among the most special days of the year for the staff and for the players and the community. We loved it. We had such a good time. It had a huge impact on the community, and that stuck with me forever. I've always had extremely fond memories and always have tracked that game and seen who Aiden's bringing in this year, what team's coming along, how did it go. Always have a great crowd. And then to be able to bring my High Point team a few years back and then once again this spring, it's a full circle moment that I just love being a part of it. And I make sure that our guys here are educated on the origin stories you just described, but also the impact that they're making by going and being a part of this game. Yes, we're there to compete. Yes, we're there to win a game if we can, but there's something bigger at play, and making sure that they understand that. now we're spreading the message and making sure that everything that Aiden has done through this game and through the service that their team does on a weekly basis since 2012, now maybe my guys can take part in that in our community and then the communities that they join after High Point. So it's an incredible thing, and I'm really looking forward to next week.
Yeah, you make a good point about your kids as well. You guys both are Division I head coaches. Taking advantage of the platform that you have, Zach, how important is it to be able to do something like this and other stuff as well with the platform that you have been provided?
We have to. It's our responsibility. And I think it's easy to get caught up in just preparing to win games, the next recruiting class, what you're doing day to day in training, and everything becomes very focused for the on the field matters. And these guys are 18 to 22 years old. These are very formative years. They need to learn more than just the game on the field. They need to have a broader perspective in life. They need to grow and develop as a human being. Some of that they're going to get academically through a college experience, but it also needs to be outside of that. They need to leave the campus and they actually need to experience other things, and they need to help people and they need to learn how to support others, particularly treating people and supporting people that maybe do have just lesser opportunities. Aiden talked about getting kids together and having the clinic before and being able to join typical, non-typical kids. That doesn't happen enough. So our guys need to see that firsthand, the impact that has, and then maybe they can be the catalyst for that for years to come in other areas and other communities. And now you're spreading the impact, you're spreading the awareness. And that's really what Aiden started this game to do, is to make sure that the Wilmington community would benefit from it, but also by bringing in other programs, it could go and disseminate all over the country, all over the region.
Yeah, again, the 11th annual. Last year they didn't play the game because of weather, so this will be the 10th one that actually be competed. But Aiden, you mentioned beforehand, and Zach did as well, the clinic beforehand. How can people get involved with that if they want to do that before they come to the actual game?
Yeah, the game starts at 6, Mike, but the actual clinic will start at 4 o'clock. And we'll have both staffs and players out there. And we don't require a sign up. It's kind of a free for all. As kids arrive, they come and join in and have a good time. We'll have Sammy the Seahawk out there, and we have some stations and some playing areas for the kids to play under the guidance of our players. And it's free for kids. We do ask parents to pay for a ticket for the game, and all the proceeds from the game go to the local New Hanover Special Olympics, as well as Coastal Buds. So all the proceeds from the game will be going to local charities, and I think that's something that we can help give back and help those charities as well.
I know in the past there's been some special jerseys auction off as well. Is that part of this year's event as well?
We do. We have one of a kind with designed jerseys that we'll have a live auction going on during the game. So parents, families, friends, fans can bid on those, and collect them at the end of the game, or if we wanted to wash them before they take them, we're happy to do that as well. But yeah, they're unique Under Armour Harry's Game jerseys.
As you mentioned, Aiden, this idea came from another school, Xavier. Have you seen this idea from your game, Harry's game, kind of moved on to other programs? Have you seen other coaches maybe do something similar to this or for some other causes?
I'm not aware, Mike. No, I think with Andy's since moved on from Xavier, so I'm not aware of any other universities doing this. I think one thing to mention, we've had some players who, since they've graduated, and when we kind of talk back about their time, and we had one player who, went to do grad school at another university, and he said, they don't do anything like this, and he thought it was really important, and a really important part for him, to echo what Zach said. Really gave him some insight and some life kind of lessons that being involved in this game, and the community part is really stuck with him, and is something that he's passionate about and he wants to do in the future. I think those are the key things for us. It isn't just about the kids we're helping on the day, or it's the impact it has on our players, and seeing what good they can do in their communities. We hope that is something that is a byproduct of what we're trying to do here.
And again, Zach, you brought High Point here previously. What was your takeaway from the event then? And did you hear from some of your athletes at the time their takeaway as well?
Absolutely. I mean, those are the type of opportunities and events and things that they really remember. And it's funny, you sometimes get caught up in this game or that game or this season or that season. And oftentimes you reflect back with your seniors after they finish their time. And some of the moments they bring up are very much it might have a tie into soccer, but it's certainly not a single game. I mean, I remember with UNCW, the guys talked about our trip to DC and when we toured around the city and learned more about the history of our country, and that was something that was really important to them and stuck with them. And then Harry's game is just another example of, I think, an event that it really, really sticks with them. It matters. It makes a difference in their outlook and their worldview. And they carry that on much more than they do of a one-off game their junior year. And that's really what it's about. And if the more things that we can do during their 4 years that shape who they are and who they're going to be afterwards for some good and hopefully to help people, then I think that's the most important aspect of our job.
Again, it's Harry's game. Harry is the star. He's usually around for this event as well. What does he know about this event, and how much does he enjoy, being around during this time?
So he doesn't know this is named after him. He does, Harry can't. He's non-verbal. He can spell his name, and stuff, but he just sees it as a chance where he's got friends of his and other kids coming out, and he loves being. And we have bounce houses, and we provide some food and some pizza for the kids, and it's he just loves the energy. He doesn't want to be. I try to take a picture of them pre-game, and we'll try again this year. He's more interested in going out and having a good time and playing with his buddies on the bounce house. I mean, if the ball's part of the equation, then great for him, but it's not. It's certainly not the important thing for him. So and a lot of other kids, they have a great time.
Again, this is the 11th annual. Did you imagine it, when you started it, that it was going to last this long and continue on as it has?
I didn't. I thought, well, we just have a game, and it was to see how the community embraced it and came out, and we were like, wow, this is something we'd like to continue to do. And I do think, Tom and Mike, the funds that come in where we help other charities, I think is something that's it's not that wasn't the real purpose of it, but it's certainly kind of cool to give some help to some of the local charities too. So we're delighted it's lasting as long as it is, and long may it continue. I hope we can continue on. And and I must say the coaches who have brought their teams down have been amazing. I'm delighted Zach's coming back with his group again. The sincerity that you see from those coaches and their players, and it's I truly believe they come away and get something from it. But just their willingness to embrace this and help out, and typically they're getting ready for a game. They get the field, they warm up, they're ready to go, and now they spend an hour with doing a clinic beforehand. It just shows you that people do care, and I think that's a real message for us as well.
Again, always a great event coming up on Saturday, April 5th, 6 o'clock. The clinic before that as well. People, I'm sure, can go online and get some tickets for this as well. Once you guys kick it off, is everything else out the window, and it's that competitive spirit for both of you guys once you kind of get going? I know it's the spring, so it doesn't count toward your record, but are you as competitive in this game as you are in others in the spring?
I would say yes. Yeah, I mean, Zach would agree. I think, our players work so hard and but they want to go out. And I think it's a great, we're playing in the Carolina Cup this year, and it's a new kind of spring league. So, we're keeping the same substitution format we have in the fall. But yeah, kids, we're competitive. The kids are competitive. It's all coming from a great place. So, we never lose friendship over it, and we enjoy seeing our teams play. And I'm tremendously proud of Zach and the work he's done at High Point. He's had great success, and I'm proud of him and what he's doing as a coach and as a father, and he's doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, is that for you again? Coming back here, obviously a point of pride to come back to where you had such great success as an assistant coach, associate head coach as well. But I'm sure you want to get a win next week as well.
Yeah, it's hard because I want High Point to win every game, but I also want UNCW to win every game every year. This is a chance to compete, but I would say the spirit of the competition is very healthy. The balance between both of our teams getting a result as the culmination of hard work. Like Aiden said, you want to see your guys be successful for the work they put in the spring. Oftentimes that can show up in a result to add confidence to your group. But I think I would say for both of our teams, if we can develop and progress with this game, because it's a really good and challenging game, which it will be, and a fantastic occasion in front of a good crowd, it's going to help us win games in the fall. And we don't usually play in the fall unless it's going to be NCAA tournament. We've done some preseason games, but yeah, this game always helps us, I think, be better for the fall, which is the ultimate goal of these spring games, with some added competition of the Carolina Cup and keeping standings and things like that. But I can't wait. Like I said, it's one of the best things that we do in any year. So looking forward to it.
Well, again, I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind playing each other if it is in the NCAA tournament in the fall. But right now it's in the spring. It's Harry's game. Again, April 5th, Saturday at 6 o'clock. The clinic beforehand, 4 o'clock to 5:15. That's free. Tickets needed for the game. And again, all proceeds benefit special needs and special groups, Special Olympics here in the community as well. Guys, you've done a great job, Aiden, especially, again, bringing this. I think, again, both of you guys using the platform that you have to help create awareness and education for special needs and the children with it is tremendous. I certainly applaud both of you guys of what you've done, and looking forward to seeing you guys compete on the pitch next week.
Sounds great. Thanks for having us, Mike.
Thanks so much, guys. See you next week.